Hello everyone, my name's SudoTrainer. We're going to be running Pokemon Yellow and E% Glitchless today. That's a Pikachu. Sadly, we're not going to see him too much, but we're going to be having a blast with another kind of Pokemon. So we had a glitch incentive to name this character, and the winner was the name I'm a Waka. And it's supposed to be with 2 Ks, but unfortunately, the Game Boy was a very limiting system, so we just had to stick with 1K. And we have another incentive for this guy's name, and guess what the winner is? I'm a Waka. So you might see this name quite a bit. So I'm a Waka is rivals with I'm a Waka. It's a very internal struggle that we're going to be facing today. So let's get this game going. At the start here, it's going to look a lot like a casual playthrough. There's not going to be anything too much really to explain. There's a couple things I'll point out here and there, but this is about a 2-hour long run, and it's an RPG, so you would think, oh, there's not too much to talk about. We're going to be grinding the whole time. Trust me, we're going to be going pretty fast. We just need to get to that point in the game. So we're kind of going through the tutorial. Here's Oak showing us exactly how to do a trick called YOLO Ball. I'll try it later. I was practicing it before this run on a different TV than I'm used to, and it was not going well. So I'll try it once. There's a backup strat I'm going to be going for, just so we can keep this run going and on a good pace. But we're going to be doing a lot of cool stuff in this run. But for right now, we need Imawaka to meet himself. So at the start here, one of the things that I'm kind of doing here is I'm mashing with 2 buttons, actually. And a lot of games do this, but it's really just more of a habit. It's more comfortable to mash 2 buttons. In Pokemon Gen 1 games, it's actually really important, because the game has what we call single input lag. So the game will only allow so many inputs from the same button for so long before it locks it down. So every single time I press, for example, A, it won't take another A input for a few more frames. And we can mash much faster than that input lag window. So this fight, the goal would be to win it here. But if we lose it, it's gonna be okay. But this fight, I really want to win. Unfortunately, we got kind of a bad Pikachu at the start. It has 18 health, which can kind of go badly, but we're getting kind of lucky, actually. We had Tail Whip into Tail Whip, so Tackle's pretty bad here. We basically have a 50% chance to die here. Alright, are we gonna live or die? Alright, so we're dead. Not the end of the world, but I would have liked to win that fight. This is going to change a couple things in the run, but I've practiced this route enough as it is, so we're going to be fine. So part of the story of this game, and how it's different from Pokemon Red, for example, is we get Pikachu instead. It's going to more closely follow the anime. And for all you Pika fans out there, I'm sorry, we're not going to be seeing a lot of Pikachu. And that's one reason why, as a donation incentive, we didn't have Pikachu as an option, because we're only going to see him for the first about 8 minutes of the run. So this part we're just going to be doing basically pretty casually. We're going to be doing some story stuff to progress in the game. And then we're going to be getting our Pokemon we're going to run the rest of the game with. This is kind of a thing that almost every Pokemon speedrun does, whether it's glitchless or glitched. You're really only going to use one Pokemon. So Pokemon as a series, the point is to catch a lot of Pokemon and use type advantage to win your battles, right? That's the main appeal of Pokemon is you're going to get a big team of Pokemon, train them up, and basically finally beat all the gyms and complete the game. We don't have time for that. We're doing a speed run, so we gotta find the most efficient Pokemon that we can level up fast, and it's gonna be good for the rest of the run. So for now, I'm not gonna spoil who that Pokemon is, but it's gonna be a pretty big deal when we get it. So we just went up to the mart to kind of get this parcel for Oak. I don't know really why we decided to be so willing and helpful here, but I mean, we're gonna do it. We have to do it. There's this person blocking the road, so we might as well pick up a day job, earn some money, and, you know, progress the story. So Imawaka did his job, and out of nowhere, look at that! Imawaka appears to interrupt our private conversation. Imawaka, good timing. So we're gonna be getting the Pokedex here. We're not gonna need it for anything. That's kind of why they make you come back here. They want you to kind of fight some Pokemon, come back, and then give you the Pokedex instead of throwing a lot at you at once. So unfortunately, he doesn't want us to have a town map, but I think we're going to be able to get through it without the town map. I think I might know like where everything is, but we'll have to see. Who knows? I might regret not getting that town map. I'm a very forgetful person, so... At the beginning here, every random encounter in this game is just going to cause a time loss for us. There's no benefit to leveling up Pikachu. We're not going to use him. He's a pretty bad Pokemon for like fighting and completing a run quickly with. And especially since the first gym is a rock type, which Pikachu does not do well against, he's just going to be kind of dead weight for us. So at the start here, I'm going to be buying 3 Pokeballs, and I'm also going to only be buying 5 potions. But I also need a Paralyze Heal for the backup strat, because I'm going to try really hard not to fight this Nidoran. But if I don't get the Yellow Ball, this is why I bought 2 Pokeballs, we're going to just fight it, because this trick that I'm about to do is called RNG Manipulation. And RNG Manipulation kind of changed Pokemon speedrunning when we allowed the switch from in-game time to RTA timing. Now, a timer that measures the time it's actually taking to complete the run instead of the timer at the end when you beat the Elite Four is used, and that allowed us to save and reset. And that's what enables us to do RNG manipulation. We'll have plenty of time to talk about it, but for this trick here, I'm just going to focus for a moment and do the manip to the best of my abilities. This trick here is pretty hard. It's basically 2 near frame perfect tricks. So I'm not going to be too mad if I miss it, but let's try our best. Alright, that felt good, but I felt that way during all my practice, so let's see. Unfortunately, we didn't get the manip. It's pretty hard, so the fact that I couldn't get it in practice, I was kind of expecting maybe this would happen, and we saved before this, so even if we die here, not the end of the world, we can just try the manip again, but we hurt the Nidoran, and perfect. So, we also had a donation incentive to name this Pokemon. It's going to be the one we're running. And, amazingly enough, this incentive was also Imawaka was the winner. And this one we can spell correctly. So now we got the Pokemon we need. I'm going to be doing a couple things here. First of all, I'm going to heal Imawaka. We need Imawaka. I'm also going to be swapping the Pokemon, and I'm going to be checking the stats as well. So, we got very unlucky. We got what's called IGT 0 Special Nidoran, and this is basically the worst case scenario for this part of the game. If this was a real run, I would basically reset. This is about a 12% chance to happen. Sorry, it's about a 15% chance to happen with 22 HP Nidoran. And what that means is I have to redo what I just did. So I'm not going to be trying to do the the yellow ball part. I'm just going to be catching my Nidoran. There's nothing I did wrong. There's just a small % chance that our Manip won't work. So I'm glad I checked. So I'm just going to be attacking this Nidoran at the start because we already are kind of losing time by having to redo this Manip. So, and this is why we buy the Paralyze Heal, just in case we paralyze this Nidoran. Alright. So, let's throw this Pokeball, and let's hope I didn't get unlucky twice in a row, because it's very possible to happen. I'm gonna check the stats of it right away, versus before. So guys, if you guys really liked the fact that I was naming everything I'm a Waka, congratulations, we get to see it a bonus time in this run. Alright, so now we have I'm a Waka again. I'm going to swap, and then I'm going to check the stats, and good, that's what I need. I need 11 special. So like I said, I didn't do anything wrong. There's just a very small % chance that the Manip technically fails, and we have to save again to redo it. So I've been talking a lot about what's been happening, but I haven't really been explaining it. So what is RNG manipulation? Well, RNG manipulation is basically, depending on what game you're playing, it's being able to understand what's going to happen in the game because we know where we are in the RNG or luck in the game. Everything is determined by RNG in this game, like what move this Caterpie is going to use is determined by RNG. So we are able to save and reset, and what that allows us to do is manip an encounter to appear. Because computers, the way that basically every computer works is there's a thing called deterministic. As long as you, at the startup, do the exact same thing over and over again, with the same parameters, like us being in that tile, walking the same way, we're going to get the same outcome every time. Now, why did I have to redo it if we RNG manipped it? What was different from usual? Well, in this game, they keep track of the in-game time for us, right? But specifically, they remember what frame we saved on, because of how this game is set up with cycles and how its timing works. So the frame we save on can change our RNG manipulation. And that winds up being a big deal, because if we're slightly unlucky with what frame we save on, we're going to get a bad Nidoran that's going to really cost us some time, because then we're going to have to save and resave like we did. So what that manip normally allows us to do is saving in that tile and then getting this Nidoran to appear. And this Nidoran has basically the best stats we can get. It has perfect attack and near perfect speed. Both of those are going to be really important in the run. And normally, if you really practice on the system you're playing, you can also get it in a Pokeball without having to damage it. It's just going to go in the ball right away, which is normally a 30% chance, but you can make it 100 by RNG manipping it. Alright, so let me talk to this guy here. So we're fighting optional trainers right now, and that's because we have to kind of do a little bit of grinding. We're not going to be doing a lot in this run in order to fight the first gym leader. The first gym leader is Brock in this game, and Brock is a rock type gym. So if we try to use our Pikachu, it's not really going to work out well for us. So we need to find a Pokemon that can beat Brock. So there's 3 options for us. We can get a Caterpie like we're fighting here and evolve it all the way up to a Butterfree. And Butterfree can learn Confusion. That'd be kind of slow because we'd have to grind up a weak Pokemon just so we can beat Brock. Another option that quite a lot of people kind of recommend, without knowing too much of the speedrun, is we could catch a Mankey. Mankey starts off with a move that is very good against Brock. It's called Low Kick, and it's effective against Rock-type Pokemon. The funny thing is, Mankey is actually slower than Nidoran in order to beat Brock. he just has a really bad what we call experience curve. He takes a lot of experience to level up and be powerful. Unlike Nidoran here, which has a very good experience curve and we can level up very quickly. And our third option is the one we chose to run with, Nidoran. There's a lot of reasons why we picked Nidoran. We're going to see reasons why Nidoran is a very good speed Pokemon in a little bit. But for now, just know that at level 12, we are going to get a move called Double Kick, which is going to help us beat Brock. So I'm going to save and I'm going to reset for another RNG manipulation. There's only 3 in this run and they're kind of early on in the run. So this one is going to be called Pidgeymon, and this one I will try to YOLO ball because I have 2 Pokeballs and I kind of don't want them both in my inventory to begin with. So if we miss it the first time, it's not the end of the world. So there's a funny story with this RNG manipulation. A lot of people kind of ask, like, how do we find RNG manipulation? Well, the answer is kind of how you would expect. People create bots that kind of search the game for RNG manipulation. Like, we want to get through this without encounters and find a Pidgey. But this one, the one that I just did, is a variation of Pidgeymanip where we actually, it was found manually by a guy named Pokeguy. And that's kind of one reason why I really enjoy this Manip, because it was found by someone just kind of messing around trying to find the Manip. No bot found it. A person spent the time and found this Manip. So now we have a Pidgey, and I'm gonna shed a sigh of relief. We only have one more RNG manipulation in the run, and fortunately that one isn't as frame perfect. That one has a lot of leeway, and the fact that I'm playing on a new TV really shouldn't affect the run. So we had to use a lot of horn attacks. So I'm actually going to lead off with Tackle here, because the last fight against the trainer, he has a Metapod, and it used Harden, which really slows down this fight. So I'm going to be using Tackle here quite a bit, and one more Tackle should kill. And good. So we're going to be at 30 HP. 30 HP is pretty safe for this next fight. Unfortunately, this next fight can be pretty scary, but it's very fast for leveling. We're going to fight 2 Pokemon for this point of the game are very strong. So I'm going to enter here, and I'm going to, use a potion on Imawaka again. And we're going to head off to our first gym leader. So right now we're almost level 11. I think we're about 75% to level 11, so we're level 10, and we need to get to level 12. And I'm walking into the gym here, so I'm not going to go fight Brock before I get Double Kick. There's, fortunately, a trainer that we call Lightyear Guy, that is going to give us a lot of experience. So, he says we're light years away from facing Brock, but unfortunately, we're only a few feet. I don't think he really understands what he means by light years only measure distance, but I don't think someone taught him what light years was correctly. So, we're going to be fighting a Diglett and Sandshrew. And both these Pokemon have a high critical hit chance, which is why I said that this fight is a little bit risky when we're coming in at 30 HP. If we were at 31 HP, it's actually perfect because we can survive a critical hit. 30 HP, like this one here, I know this game well enough that I shouldn't die here, as long as I don't get crit again. Perfect. So that's good. So something interesting just happened there. We leveled up when that beeping sound was happening, so we call that red bar. And red bar is really cool in these games because that beeping sound actually helps us. We are able to skip the level up menu. So when you level up, normally there's a jingle that plays and like you see your stats that change with the Pokemon. But this game can really only play 2 sounds at one time. The background sound and like effects sound. And that beeping sound is really important. The game wants to play it over almost like a lot of things. So when we're leveling up, if that blinking sound for having low HP is happening, it actually prevents that whole level up part from happening. So we can just mash through that text without having to wait there for a moment. So it's just kind of a cool trick that happens in Pokemon. So the move we want to see here is actually Bide. Bide will make this fight very good, and Bind is absolutely the worst move that can happen here. So unfortunately, I'm out of potions. We're out of Pokeballs. Right now, this game is being pretty mean to us. Pokemon is one of those games that's pretty heavy in RNG. And I don't have another way of healing, so we just have to hope that we get Bide here. So what Bide's going to do is, Onix is going to sit here for at least 2 turns and let us hit us. And then after those turns, he would deal a lot of damage. So fortunately for us, he decided to, at least at the very end, be a little nice to us. So we got through Brock, and that's great. We're really low on healing items, we're low on HP, so there's a lot going on right now. But fortunately, this next area we're going to isn't too risky. I'm going to save before one fight that I wouldn't even normally do on a marathon, but since we don't have any healing items, we're just going to play super safe. We're going to have a walk with our Pikachu. It's going to be great. We're not going to worry. What can go wrong? It's a marathon. Everything's gonna go perfect. I'm not like, this is world record, guys, obviously. So up till this point, like I've said, like, Nidorann's a good Pokemon, right? But it hasn't really shown yet. He's getting hurt a lot. We have to heal him a lot. But at this point of the game, you're gonna really be able to tell why we're using him in the speedrun. Just look how much damage he's going to do to this Caterpie. He's going to almost 2-shot it with just 1 horn attack. We were fighting a Caterpie before and it also took 2, but you're going to start seeing that damage really show through. So one cool thing I'm going to be doing a lot in this run is there's a lot of like cool menuing tech. So you can buffer a lot in this game, and what I mean by buffering is when like a jingle's playing, you can hold a button and it will do that input when the jingle's done. So when Caterpie came out, he did this sort of cry, right? Well, during that cry, I can hold A, and what that allows us to do is the moment the cry ends, it presses A for me and opens up the menu. So there's a lot of kind of cool things we can do to go fast. So this is the fight I was talking about. I'm going to save. Imawaka's clearly scared of every single Pokemon in this game at this point. And this guy has a kind of scary Pokemon. It's the terrible Rattata. Rattatas are pretty scary. Because they know Quick Attack. And if he Quick Attacked me and crit, for example, I would be absolutely dead. It would be more time loss on top of all the bad RNG. So fortunately, that didn't happen. That save I did is not going to matter, and we're just going to continue. Wow, that's good. So Wrap is a move that, good, we didn't see it again, prevents us from attacking for a certain amount of time. And I didn't talk about it, but Brock did a similar move called Bind, and that prevented us from attacking for like 5 turns while we're taking damage. It's very powerful in Gen 1, so the fact that that missed there is really good. I don't want to take any more damage, and I don't want to waste any more time. We're trying to go fast. So, that wrap miss was perfect. So, another reason why Nidoran is a great Pokemon to speedrun is we're level 15 right now, because we've been fighting a lot of these trainers. He evolves at level 16. And to anyone who's played Pokemon, that's not like super special, right? A lot of Pokemon evolve at level 16. But the reason why it's really good for Nidoran is actually going to come into play in about 5 minutes. But for now, just remember, he's about to level up after this fight. And then it's going to be a pretty big deal. So one thing I'm kind of doing here is, and it looks super weird, I'm using double kick when the Pokemon I'm fighting is at super low HP. And the reason I'm doing that is, this game, we turned off the animations because animations are just taking more time, right? But this game still has two different animations for when you attack. There's things called flash animations and there's things called shake animations. So when I use Horn Attack, the sprite will kind of disappear and reappear, but when I use Double Kick, the sprite of the Pokemon will just shake for a moment, and the Double Kick or shake animation is so much faster than the flash animation, to the point that if we can use Double Kick, even though there might be more text like, this is not very effective, it's still faster to Double Kick versus just Horn Attacking things. So we're going to see the flash animation. Notice how that goes on for a while? I was going to hope to be able to Double Kick that, but it was a little too high HP. So whenever something's low enough that... okay, perfect. So this is one of those I'm talking about. We're going to use Double Kick here. And look how much faster that is. It's just a quick little shake of the screen, and we're able to keep playing. So that was Nidorino. Our Nidoran evolved. Imawaka's slowly gaining more power. If you loved Nidorino, I'm sorry. That's the only time you're going to see him in the entire run, as long as I do my job here. So we're coming up to probably everyone's least favorite part of Gen 1 Pokemon, Mount Moon. This is one of those points of the game where suddenly the encounter rate spikes. But first of all, we're going to deposit Pikachu. I'm sorry for everyone who loves Pikachu. Look how sad he sounds. It's so unfortunate. But he causes cutscenes in this game, and we just don't have time for cutscenes, so we're going to drop him off at this PC. He's fine, promise. Just to avoid all those extra cutscenes and time loss. And we're going to be doing the last bit of RNG manipulation in the run. Okay, so let's make sure I don't reset too soon. I just want to make sure I waited long enough, just in case something happened. I was practicing before and actually corrupted the save file, because I reset too soon, which was weird, because I swore I waited long enough, but we're just waiting a really long time so it doesn't happen. So, if I do my job and we get a little bit lucky, I promise you we're not going to get a single Zubat. So we're doing Mount Moon Manip, or Moonip for short. And basically, you're going to see RNG manipulation at its finest here. So as long as we walk the specific path, I'm going to reset and try that one more time. Like I said, I'm playing with slightly more input lag than I'm used to. If it doesn't work, we're going to just keep on going. I'm sorry about the failed manip here. I'm going to focus really hard and make sure I try to do my best here. So that looked good. And that's probably the most key part. So this manip isn't as hard as Nidoran manip because it's not exactly frame perfect, because we can buffer all these inputs. As long as I don't slow down, and in fact, I think I accidentally took an extra step. It might not matter. I think I turned a little early. But, like I said, it's a little bit hard to tell. This isn't the setup I'm used to doing this in. But we're getting pretty far. Looks like I didn't mess up my manip. I probably just so we're gonna do it one more time, and if it doesn't work, I'll keep going. So everyone can call me a liar. I'm so sorry. We're gonna go one more time because I want to be able to get one full manip in this run. And if it doesn't work, I'll swallow my pride and we'll keep going. Because this is really cool. Okay. Alright. That one didn't count because my menu didn't open. It's one of the weird things with playing on an SP, I feel. I try to get it sometimes, but when I hit start, I do it too quick and it doesn't go. So this is the last time, I promise. Okay, we can't do it, I guess. We have to just keep on going. So, normally, we're able to just fully manip this whole area, so we're not going to get a single encounter. But for now, we're just going to have to walk the whole thing and run away from every single encounter. So, sorry I couldn't show off one of the coolest manips in the run, in my opinion. It's a really cool and a very long manip. You have to walk through this whole area, pressing buttons near frame perfectly, and it's easier because of buffering, but you have to walk this whole area without taking an extra step, and you have to press A's really well. So it's a hard trick, and I'm not going to beat myself too much for missing it. Ah, the Zubats. I said I didn't want to see a single one, but now we have to kind of sit through them all. So, Yellow has had this manip for a very long time. Ever since we had RNG manipulation, you've been able to get through all of Mount Moon without getting encounters. And another Pokemon speedrun is Pokemon Red. And Red is a really cool speedrun as well. I recommend, if you're enjoying this run at all, to check out Red as well. And they recently just got a full Mount Moon manip because they wanted to do something a little bit different. They were like fighting trainers in here and everything, so having a full manip wasn't worth it. But they've recently kind of rerouted the game and gotten a full Mount Moon manip, and it looks very similar to this now. Well, if I was actually doing the manip. So this part of the game has a really high encounter rate. And when Mount Moon manip was found, it wound up saving somewhere in about a minute 30 on average, in like terrible scenarios, like more than 2 minutes. Because I'm getting decently lucky actually for messing up this manip at the very start. You can have a terrible time and get anywhere from 13 to like 17 encounters, and that's like completely reasonable. On average, I would say is probably about 11. But since we do the RNG manipulation, I don't actually know if that's like the average, because we generally go through here with no encounters. But this is the last RNG manip of the run, and once again, it's kind of different with like a different setup and all that. But that's not going to affect the rest of the run. After we get past Mount Moon, nothing's going to be really different for me, and hopefully I'll be able to really show off this run. But for now, the Zubats just have to taunt me a little bit, and it's okay. It's okay. I kind of like Zubat as a Pokemon, but every single time I run into one, I like it a little bit less. So actually, here's the reason why... Here's the reason why evolving at level 16 is really cool for our run. When we come up here, we go through this whole area, and we can get a Moonstone. And that's how we get Nidoking, is we can use a Moonstone on Nidorino. So we're with this failed manip, I would probably guess 31 minutes, 32 minutes in this run, and now we have a fully evolved Pokemon with manip stats. So let's see how much damage we're doing against a really powerful Pokemon. Like, this Pokemon has insane defense, and look, we're almost like going over half its HP with one attack. So we're really gonna start going really fast. You guys might be thinking I'm crazy because I set my estimate for like 210, 215 with everything that went wrong in this run, bad luck and bad execution at the beginning. I'm not worried about that estimate. We'll be fine.
We missed a donation incentive from I Am Zamber earlier of $20. It was originally to name your rival I Am Zamber, but since we missed it, it will still go towards throwing a Kirby plush at you 20 times throughout the run.
Oh, that sounds wonderful!
No. Just at random.
Thank you, I Am Zamber. Yeah, go right ahead. And one other thing I'm going to be doing is we're going to get some extra Pokemon along this run. So one of them's Charmander, which is my favorite Pokemon. We can name that one I Am Zamber as well, along with the plushies. And we also have Lapras we're going to get in the run. So Zamber, if you're watching, feel free to tell us what Pokemon you want named after you. The Charmander or the Lapras. They're going to be used quite a bit. Woo! We got lucky. This Ekans has Wrap, and it can waste a lot of time for us. So we got pretty lucky right now to be able to crit that. Otherwise, we could lose even more time in this run. Oh, definitely. It would have been great if it was during the Manip I failed, then I could have blamed that. Come on, guys, help me out. Whenever I mess up, just throw it at me, okay? Alright, so we're through Mount Moon, and we're... Got him. So... Right now, we're gonna be coming up to probably one of the worst fights in the entire run. Actually, this fight, we're not gonna have too many chances to die in this run, and most of those I'm gonna be able to save for pretty early. But along with that, we are going to be fighting just this really bad fight because it just has a lot of potential time loss. We're going to be getting we're going to be fighting a Pokemon here, another Sandshrew, and Sandshrew has a move called Sand Attack. And if you played Pokemon, Sand Attack's annoying, but it's not that bad, right? Well, Gen 1 Sand Attack is really overpowered. Long story short, it brings your accuracy from 100% to 2/3, so 66%. So if that happens, we could potentially miss a lot of attacks. So we got really lucky here. Growl makes the next Pokemon we're gonna fight, the Sandshrew, really bad because their attack gets weakened. So Growl fail there is amazing. So let's just hope here. So we got Scratch, so that's awesome. We want to see Scratch again. Or crit. Crit's even better. Critting the Sandshrew is like the best crit in this game. So this bridge is set up to be really good now. Wow, we're getting another crit. So in this game, crits can be good or bad. If we use like a status move to make our attack faster, our attack better, or anything like that, we could actually do less damage with a critical. Criticals in this game ignore all status changes, even if they're good or bad. So, there's a couple crits in this game that are really good to get, and we got two of them. We got the Ekans from the Team Rocket fight, and we also got the Sandshrew. So this bridge is some force fights that we have to accomplish, and like I said, we have a pretty powerful Pokemon. But halfway through this bridge, we're going to be doing something really cool that's going to really show off another reason why we use Nidoking in this run. But for now, we're going to be doing what we've been doing this whole time, using Horn Attack because it's our strongest move, and killing anything we can with Double Kick just because it's faster. So, you're also seeing me doing those menuing techniques I was talking about a lot. That's one thing that puts really good runners apart from newer runners like myself. I've only been running this game for about 3 months now. Very good runners, like the top, are amazing at mashing, buffering combat, and menus. And you would be amazed at how much time that saves. Just being able to mash through text properly and being able to be efficient in your menus and combat. Because that's what Pokemon is. A lot of it is tech. Wow, we got like another really good critical. That Nidoran can really lose us a lot of time because it has a move called Double Kick. And you've seen me use Double Kick to go fast. Well, Double Kick, when it's used against us, is super slow. So that's a really good critical. We're having good luck now. After everything that's been happening, I'm super happy that we're getting some good luck. So, Double Kick, this Rattata. And then we have another Ekans here. This Ekans is about 50% chance to die. I haven't talked about it too much because there haven't been too many what we call ranges. So we got unlucky, we got Rapier, but not the end of the world. At this point, we're not going to worry too much about our HP because we're going to have to use the Pokemon Center before we fight the next gym leader. We got really unlucky with this one though. Rapkin lasts anywhere from just 2 turns to 5 turns, and we got 5 turns again after we got it from Brock, I believe. So that's kind of funny that we've like hit the max 2 times in a row. So we're gonna hit level 21 here, which is gonna be a very important level for us. Not because level 21 is important, but because level 23 is the best level in the whole game. So we're gonna use these rare candies we picked up, because we want to learn a move called Thrash as soon as possible. So, if you played Pokemon, Thrash is like a move that you might not have really used very much because it's like kind of not the best move. But in Gen 1, it's one of the best moves for Pokemon speedrunning. So let me kind of let it speak for itself here. So I'm going to use Thrash. And it's gonna kill this Pidgey, but I probably could have used Horn Attack. I mean, we crit even too. But I'm just gonna stop for a moment. You know, take a breather. So Thrash is a great move for Pokemon speedrunning because you have to use it for 3 or 4 turns. After you select it, you're locked into that move for either 3 or 4 turns. It's 50% chance for each. And that's why this move is so great. It stops us from having to take the time to keep selecting a move. When we use Thrash, it's just going to keep on using it. And at this point in the game, wow, I think we're at 4 throws already. They're going to have to get a lot more in. At this point in the game, we're not fighting a lot of trainers that have more than like 2 or 3 Pokemon. So Thrash works out very well for us because it has 90 power out of 150, so that's really powerful for this point in the game. It's 100% accurate. We'll talk about 100% accuracy later because there's a small bug in this game that every move in the entire game has a chance to miss, actually. But we'll talk about it if it kind of comes up. In the third reason also why Thrash is really good, besides it's accurate and powerful, is you can only use a move a certain number of times. Every move has a PP. So, unfortunately, I'm not near the computer, so I'm going to name both the Charmander and the Lapras IamZamber. So we're just going to shoot double the love towards Zamber's way because, unfortunately, we missed it before. So I believe I know how to spell this correctly. I am Zamber. So we have Charmander, my favorite Pokemon. One of the reasons I love running Yellow, because if I ran Pokemon Red, for example, we'd use Squirtle and we would never get to see a Charmander. But in this run, I get to pick up my favorite Pokemon. So I was talking about how every move can only be used a certain number of times its PP, and Thrash is a cool move because let's kind of see what happens when we use non-Thrash. So we're going to use Double Kick here. So I have 21 uses, right? So I'm going to use it. Screech is good. Whoops, I forgot to buffer that, but and if you saw it quick enough, I went down to 20, so every time I use the move, the count goes down by 1. And up till this point, we've used Thrash to kill like probably 5 or 6 Pokemon. Thrash has a total of 20 PP, so you would think we'd be at like 15 or 14 uses or something like that. Well, Thrash is cool, because you'll see here if I pause for a moment. It has 17 uses. Thrash only takes away one of the PP, the uses, when you select it. So even though I'm killing another Pokemon with it, it doesn't reduce that number. And that's intentional in the game. So that allows us to go a very long time without using items to restore those PPs or to take an extra Pokemon Center, because that stuff all takes a lot of time. And we don't want to do that, we want to go very fast. So we're going to be using Thrash a lot. This segment of the game is basically Thrash everything you can. Because it's fast and powerful, and it's just great. Thrash. Everyone, if you ever play Gen 1 games, and you can learn Thrash, please learn it. It's such a good move. So, coming up here is one reason why we actually deposit Pikachu. I said Pikachu causes cutscenes, and I didn't really explain too much what those cutscenes were or what they really amounted to through the course of the run, but this is one of them. We're gonna come into this building where Bill is, and normally, if you have Pikachu will kind of waste some time and go up and like examine the Pokemon, and when Bill kind of comes out of the machine, Pikachu will like act surprised. So with depositing him, we just don't get those. Another thing that kind of happens when you have Pikachu is every time we use a Pokemon Center, there's this like cutscene where you pick Pikachu off the ground, pat him on the head, and hand him over to Nurse Joy. But we're speedrunners, we don't love our Pokemon, we just gotta go super fast, unfortunately. So this is just part of the story. We have to come here at some point, and doing this before we go fight Misty works out very well, because Misty is kind of a scary gym leader. She has kind of one Pokemon that can deal a lot of damage to us, and if you ever watched a Pokemon Yellow speedrun before we switched to RTA timing with RNG manipulation, Misty was super scary. She would kill a lot of people's runs, and she still can today, but it's not as scary after RNG manipulation was allowed in these games. Because she is a super fast Pokemon with a high critical hit rate, and her move is super effective against us, because her gym is water, and we're a ground type. So I keep mentioning these critical hit rates, but I don't think I really explained it. Gen 1 has a different critical hit calculation than all the other generations of Pokemon. Critical hit chance is dependent on the Pokemon's base speed. So the fact that I said our Nidoran was maniped to have a near perfect speed stat doesn't affect critical hit chance. It's the base speed of the Pokemon before you account for anything else, like the level and whatnot. So certain Pokemon are just more likely to crit. There's also moves that have a higher critical hit rate, and we'll talk about them because they'll definitely come up in this run. But we're going to fight a Starmie. A Starmie, I believe, don't quote me, it's really hard to remember all the stats in this game. I try my best though. Starmie has, I think, a 16% chance to crit. So the fact that it also is a semi-powerful move and super effective against me makes her a very scary gym leader to come against. But first of all, we have to kill this Goldeen. This Goldeen won't die unless we critical. Wow, we critical. That's really good, actually. I'm a Waka here's a beast, man. He's clearing everything in his way. So I'm gonna save here because as I said, I'm terrified. This fight can go really poorly. Up till this point in the game, we've had some decently bad luck, but we're starting to come back. We're getting some good luck. Minus the Mountain Moon fiasco with missing that Manip over and over again, this has been a pretty good run so far. So let's hope we can keep this run going at a pretty good pace. So we're going to use Thrash because why not? Thrash is a great move, as I've been saying. And this is the Pokemon I've been talking about. Starmie just can deal a lot of damage to us. We got really lucky. We got Water Gun, which is perfect. Water Gun, it can use either two moves, Water Gun or Bubble Beam. Water Gun is by far the better option for us. So, one thing I haven't talked about too much in this game yet is we can, every single time we beat a gym leader, we get a TM from them. And that's going to become important later on. And I just realized something. We're on Vaporeon strats. So I have to do something with everything that's been happening. I've been a little bit distracted. So, way back when we lost the first fight against the rival, it changed something in this game for us. And I completely missed it. If I probably had chat, and if some of my Pokemon speedrunning friends have been watching, they've probably been yelling at me. But I, in fact, can't see chat, so I have to kind of make up something that was an issue before. Not that big of a deal, because we're going to be able to do kind of an interesting strategy. We're going to fight the Gentleman. The Gentleman is a fight on the boat, which we're coming up to, and right by him is a rare candy. And that's going to help us because we kind of need a rare candy anyways. We need like 2 extra rare candies now in this run because I made a small mistake. I was supposed to fight a separate trainer up there, but not the end of the world. We're just going to have to fight an extra trainer. So, my favorite trick in the whole game is coming up here, and it's so simple, I love it. Okay, we're going to enter here, we're going to press A. I forgot about something. We can't do the trick, actually, because normally we have a 1-character name, and when we pick up that full restore, the game doesn't have enough time to load up the jingle, because we just entered the route. But I'm not able to do it because we have a longer name with I'm a Waka. Normally we just try to have a 1-character name to go fast. But because of the name, we couldn't show off the cool trick. So sad day for me. But it's just kind of a cool thing. They put an item so close to the staircase that you can do a little trick to go a little faster. So we're going to be having 3 fights before, well, 4 actually. I can't forget to fight the Gentleman, otherwise we're going to have a really rough time later. We're also going to be going for like super safe marathon strats. We're going to be fighting the Gentleman and rare candying before in order to go really fast. But we have to kind of double check, make sure that everything's going to work out. Wow, I think we're 6. I'm going to count because I feel like these guys are going to cheat. So right now we're at 6. I don't know. I'm going to say 6. I don't care. I'm kidding, guys. Feel free to check it all you want. I'm a Waka. Okay, so we got kind of lucky. Quick attack here is a move that allows the Pokemon to attack first, and we're faster than all these Pokemon, so we're going to kill them all before they can get an attack off. But if they use quick attack, it's just going to be a small time loss for us. So my menu is actually the same, even though I don't have potions because we have this paralyzed heal. So I'm gonna sell this paralyzed heal, and I'm gonna pick up something later. But for right now, I need to buy 3 repels for later in the game, and we're selling TM that is basically the TM that Brock gave us. It's not a powerful move. It's that bide move we talked about before. I don't need it. So being able to sell it, get it out of my bag, so I don't have to scroll past it, and I need the money anyways. So we sell that, and we also sell the nugget. So here's another reason why Nidoking is a really good Pokemon. It can learn so many moves that you wouldn't expect it to be able to learn. So we just got Bubble Beam for beating Misty, and I'm able to teach it to Nidoking. Nidoking has an insane move pool. It can learn Thunderbolt, Bubble Beam, Water Gun, Blizzard, Ice Beam, Thunder, but it can't learn the move Dig, even though it's a ground type. It's just one of those funny quirks with Gen 1 and Nidoking. And some people have asked, like, how is it even like killing Pokemon when you use Bubble Beam? Like Nidoking doesn't have a high special attack stat. You're right, but in Gen 1 they made special 1 stat. Special attack and special defense are the same thing. And they wanted Nidoking to be like a beefy Pokemon. So for whatever reason, Nidoking has a decently high special stat. So we can use Bubble Beam pretty effectively. We can also use things like Blizzard, Ice Beam, and it's very nice for us. So this Rattata here is going to be able to die to Bubble Beam. And you might be wondering why I'm not thrashing. Well, this rival has 4 Pokemon, and I said thrash either last 3 or 4 turns. So we don't want to have that chance of it not lasting for 4 turns here. And in fact, if we didn't critical the 3rd Pokemon, the Sandshrew here, it wouldn't even die to 1 thrash. Sandshrew has a pretty high pretty high defense stat. So, just not having to fight him is going to work out pretty well for us. So we're going to be getting our first HM of the run, and we're going to be doing something that you'll probably never see in the speedrun right here. This jingle also won't play if you have a character name with 1 or 2 characters long. The game doesn't have enough time to like load up the sound. So I have to fight the gentleman, and I believe this is the room. Yes, it is. So we have to fight this guy because we're on Vaporeon strats, and I'll just pretend this was all intentional, because technically we're going to be doing actually a super safe strat. I believe we can just thrash this fight. If we can't thrash this fight for whatever reason, we'll find out very shortly. And this fixes our experience further on. So we're going to get up to level 28 here. Which is really nice because now we're able to use a rare candy, which we're able to pick up here, and that's going to make this next fight, Surge, which is normally a pretty like intense fight for us, very safe. So we have 2 gyms down. We're gonna go fight the 3rd one here. And I'm probably guessing with everything that happened, we're like 53 minutes or something on the run, maybe even more. This game is going to pick up really quick here. It's already, you're seeing, like, speeding up quite a bit. We're not, like, having to fight as many trainers and stuff. But pretty soon here, this game's basically going to turn into a boss rush mode where we're only fighting, like, the mandatory trainers. There's still 1 optional trainer we're going to fight, and I'll talk about him when we get there. But first of all, we're going to go listen to an elderly man talk to us about a wonderful Pokemon we just beat up called Ponyta. Ponyta is that fire horse-looking thing, and this guy really likes Ponyta. Long story short, if we talk to this guy, we're going to get a thing called a bike voucher, and getting the bike voucher is going to be really nice for us. We get a free bike, and this game's all about going fast, right? So we need that bike. So we listened to him, and he gave us a super, super valuable item. That thing's worth like 1 million Poké Dollars. It's great. So I'm going to come in here, and I'm going to teach Dig to I Am Zamber here. And then we're going to swap the repels up here. We're going to teach Cut to I Am Zamber as well. This is why we pick up Charmander. We need a Pokemon that can use Cut and Dig, because Cut's mandatory and Dig makes us go fast. And then we are going to use the rare candy on Imawada here. So now, let's cut, and we're coming up to one of the last major instances of RNG. So these, wow, we got like the we got insane luck here. We got what's called God Cans. So the switch can be under any of these cans here. Oh, that one's just a fail. So there's like a bunch of cans that Switch can be under, and we found literally the first one, and this game was poorly programmed, so that can had a 90% chance of being it. So we're gonna see something really cool here. So this fight is insanely good for us. Normally this is a scary fight, and we crit. I've never one-shot this Raichu before. Generally, we come in at a lower level, and that fight's pretty scary. But we crit it, so we were able to kill it in one shot. That's awesome. We're going to get TM24, that's Thunderbolt. And of course, like anything else we get in this run, we're just going to try to make Imawada as beefy as possible. Imawada is our entire life in this game. So, one strange thing about Yellow versus Red is they fix some like random things that you wouldn't expect them to fix. Dig can only be used on certain tiles, and normally, if you're watching like a Pokemon Red speedrun, they can dig out by that guy that gave us the bike voucher, but they fixed it in Yellow. So we have to like walk a little bit in order to use Dig. So Dig allows us to warp back to the last Pokemon Center we were at. Let me just focus really quick. So teaching these moves are very important, because if I would do them wrong for whatever reason, this game would become very unpredictable for me. This game is routed so tightly that making a small mistake like that could literally cost us the run. So there's just certain moments I'm going to slow down and make sure, including this fight. So this fight's called the 4-turn Thrash fight, and I'm going to save before it because so much has already happened in this run. It's called 4-turn Thrash fight because this trainer has 4 Pokemon, and we are going to use Thrash because the first Pokemon has a lot of moves that waste time. It has, it's an Oddish, it has Sleep Powder, Stun Spore. Both those could potentially wreck us and make us waste a lot of time. So we're going to use Thrash here. And we're just going to hope it lasts for 4 turns. And if it lasts for 3 turns, we're going to get confused. And when we're confused, we have a 50% chance to attack through it. If we don't attack through it, we could get also Sleep Powder or Stun Spore. This trainer just has a lot of annoying Pokemon. So let's hope for 4-turn Thrash. And we got it. So that's good. That's really good luck. Because we've lost enough time as it is. Let's try to get some good luck, catch up, and who knows? Let's world record, right? So let's kind of talk about the bike a little bit. The bike is essential for this because we're going to be moving, but it's actually a mandatory item in this game. You have to eventually go down something called Cycle Path, and if you don't have it, the bike, you can't enter it. So we need to pick it up, and it's just very nice that we can use it to go so much faster than just walking everywhere. Oh, so we're coming up to a segment of the game that is, oh, I just realized something. I didn't have to Bubble Beam there. I'm a little bit more higher level than I normally am, but it's fine. So we're coming up to Rock Tunnel. And Rock Tunnel is the part of the game where, if you're playing casually, you probably had Flash. Flash allows you to see in dark caves here. I don't have that. But fortunately enough, I've played through this game enough where I know where all these trainers are. We run Rock Tunnel in the dark when we're speedrunning because in order to get Flash, we would need to catch, I think it's 20 Pokemon in order to get the HM, and we'd need to find a Pokemon that can use it or keep Pikachu, but he would waste time. It just would never be worth it. And doing it in the dark is actually not as hard as it would seem. Gen 1, as you can see in a moment here, we can totally kind of see where we are still. We like have the walls. You can see my head up here at the very top there. And I already know the path completely, so we just have to fight these mandatory trainers. They're kind of blocking our path. I'll try talking to trainers versus walking in front of them when I can. Just because it's faster, there's a little exclamation point that appears if you walk in front of them, but if you talk to them, it doesn't. And that just saves a few seconds. Like I said, Pokemon's very optimized, so we're going to try to save as much time as we possibly can. This fight is very annoying because there's an Oddish here. Oddish, this range, normally, I don't know what it is since I'm a little bit more powerful, is about 50%. So, we killed it, and that's great. If we don't kill it, it can Stun Spore Sleep Powder us, like the other Oddishes I was talking about. So killing it there was really nice. So, picking up this rare candy, potentially making some of these fights easier for me, was pretty good. I like it so far for this marathon that already had a lot happen. So, I only bought 3 repels, and this is why we don't need RNG manipulation for the rest of the run. We only need 1 more Pokemon that can surf, or, surf and strength, and it just so happens that there's one, just along, like, the story. We can get a Pokemon, Lapras, that, can use strength and surf. So we don't need to manipulate Pokemon, and at this point in the game we have access to repels. So we don't have to waste the time saving and resetting. All we have to do is use repels, and we're not going to get encounters for the most part. And we know exactly how many repels we need to get through this rock tunnel here. We only need 3, and we're coming up to the part of the game that's kind of iconic in a lot of Pokemon Glitchless speedruns, no matter what game you're watching. It's like the major shopping trip. We don't want to waste our time going to buy items a lot, so we kind of save up all of our money, and we do one big shopping trip. And I'm going to be doing something just to be super safe. I'm going to be picking up something called the Hidden Nugget, and we're going to be able to buy a lot of stuff. So we're at the very end of Rock Tunnel here. I also need to do something, and I'm glad I thought of it. I don't have any Pokeballs, potions, and the Paralyzed Heal we sold, which is really going to affect the speedrun. We need a certain number of items, otherwise it's going to waste some time for us later. So I'm going to pick up, fortunately enough, there's a hidden item here, a Max Ether, which could be used later in the run as like a backup strat if we make a mistake. So picking it up isn't even that bad. So we're gonna come up here, get this Max Ether. It's an item that allows us to fill the PP of 1 move, which could be pretty nice. So this trainer here has a Growlithe. Growlithe is a range as well, and generally at this point in the game, a lot of times we're at low HP. Because Surge can be kind of a butt and can deal a lot of damage to us. So I've seen him kill quite a few runs where we're at like only like 6 HP. So One thing I've been doing kind of throughout the run, because it's optimal, is we're swapping some moves. Because these moves, we want them ordered the most optimal way, because then we can just go as fast as we can, versus kind of scrolling to a lot of these moves. Oh no, it's all coming here! It's coming! Oh my gosh! Okay. Bye! Okay, so we're gonna pick up a max elixir here, and then we're gonna pick up a hidden nugget. It should be somewhere around here. Pretty good! I was only a couple off, so we're gonna be selling that hidden nugget for more money. And now we're coming up to the major shopping trip of the run. So the one place we can buy items called X items is right here at the Celadon Mart. So we're gonna go up to the 5th floor. All this is planned, by the way. Everything, the order I buy things, the amount I buy things is very highly optimized. So I'm gonna come here and I'm gonna buy 11 X accuracies. I'm gonna buy 4 X speeds. Whoops, 3 X attacks, and then 4 X specials. And those are the that's the minimum X items I need to get through this game. Because since we're speedrunning an RPG, one way to like go fast in an RPG, if you've ever played one, you would know, is to be able to grind, because then you deal more damage. But we don't have time to grind a Pokemon up to a high enough level. So we need to get stats a different way. In this game, we can use X items to temporarily, for one fight, increase our stats. Like, the X attack is going to increase our attack stat by quite a bit, and that's going to allow us to clear some fights faster. We're also going to be buying a Pokédoll here. I'll explain it more in just a tiny bit, but that Pokédoll is important. One thing I also have to do is I realize I have not sold my nugget yet. So I'm going to sell it here, just so I don't forget. Whoops. Let me sell this nugget here. It's all the way down here. And then we're going to be buying 1 TM. We're going to be buffing our Nidoking up quite a bit here. So now I'm going to buy 10 repels. That's going to be just enough to get us through the rest of this run, and the rest of this money we're going to spend on super potions. So we have a lot of money right now. And that's just because normally we don't have that much, but for marathon safety I just decided to do it. Normally we have much less because we don't normally pick up that hidden nugget. It's just for safety. And then you can buy a lot of super potions. So for the most part, we're going to be pretty safe from here on out. So we're going to pick up one of our most helpful HM moves. This is Fly, and this is why we need to catch Pidgey. Fly is fast travel in this game. So being able to fly is really, really important, because now we can hop to any city we've been to. So we're going to be teaching Horn Drill to Imawada here. Okay, and that, let me double check. Sorry. I just had like one of those moments. I'm like, don't mess this up, Pseudo. We're so close. And now we're going to be teaching a move called Rock Slide. Rock Slide is only going to be used 4 times in this entire run, but it's such an important move for us to learn. So we're kind of done with Bubble Beam now. So we taught over that, and we also taught over Horn Attack. So this next fight is really cool. With all the X items I bought 11 of X accuracy, which is a lot, right? Why did we buy so many X accuracies? Well, it makes every move hit 100% of the time. Because in this game, it doesn't increase your accuracy by like 1 stage. It just completely removes all accuracy checks. every move we use after an X accuracy is always gonna hit. So it's really great for the speedrun here, and let me show you why. So we're gonna use one of our X accuracies. Growl's perfect, we didn't take any damage. We're gonna use Horn Drill. And watch what this does to our rival Imawata's team. Every single Pokemon is gonna die in one hit. So the move we got, Horn Drill, is a one-hit KO move. If it hits and certain requirements met, it's going to always kill the opponent Pokemon. So the requirement that has to be met is that we're faster. And we, remember, we have a Manipped speed stat, which kind of comes into play here. Having that Manipped speed stat is going to allow us to Horn Drill some Pokemon we normally wouldn't. And then the other downside of Horn Drill is it's only 30% accurate. Well, that doesn't matter if we happen to use X accuracy before we start using the move, because then it's always going to hit. So we're able to completely destroy a lot of Pokemon in this game. And this is probably the final reason why Nidoking is such a good Pokemon to speedrun this game with. He has access to a one-hit KO move. He gets Thrash really early on. He has a good special pool, and we can get him very early on. He's just the pinnacle of Pokemon speedrunning. So we got very unlucky here. We got Rock Slide missed. Rock Slide is a 90% accurate move, so it only has a 10% chance to miss, and we got very unlucky. We had the 10% where it missed. Might not matter in the end. Let's hope we attack here. Nice! We got 2 of the coin flips. So we have a 50% chance to hit ourselves or to attack through confusion. So we got really lucky. So for missing Rock Slide, that's literally the best case scenario we could have gotten. So we're going to be picking up 2 elixirs here. I haven't mentioned, this is going to be our 3rd elixir in the run. Elixirs are very important. They allow us to completely restore our Pokemon's PP, so all the moves we use can come back and then we're not going to be limited. And that's one of the downsides of Horn Drill as well that I haven't talked about. You can only use it 5 times without going to a Pokemon Center or using an item. It just so happens that this game is routed tight enough that that never comes into play really. But we need these 3 elixirs in order to get through the whole game without having to waste time by going to a Pokemon Center or such. So we only have 1 more Rock Slide to hit, and then we're going to be done with Rock Slide completely. We take all that time to go up to the top floor and buy an extra Soda Pop to give to the little girl just for Rock Slide, because these Ghastlies have a really high special stat. So if we tried to use other moves instead of Rock Slide, like Thunderbolt would be the best option, we could only 2-shot these Ghastlies. We couldn't 1-shot them like we are here. And that would be really bad for us because these Ghastlies only know 3 moves, and they're all kind of very trolly. It knows Nightshade, which just does about 23 damage. It knows Confuse Ray, and confusing us is really bad. And it knows Lick, which has a 30% chance to paralyze us. Each of those can be a run killer. So we're coming up to kind of a point in Pokemon speedrunning that has been kind of debated a lot. So I'm going to use a Pokédoll on this fight. And what that does is, the way that Pokédoll is programmed is, you can run away from every fight where the Pokemon is catchable. Like, if we went through the proper story segments of the game, that we would find out that ghost is actually a Marowak, and we could catch it. So that allows us to use this Pokédoll on it. Using the Pokédoll allows us to run away, but it also flags that fight as a victory. And that's the key part. Getting through that fight with a victory flag means that we can walk past it. So this is the only sequence break in the game, and it's not a glitch. This is Pokemon Glitchless any %. So the fact that that's just internally how the item is designed to work. We're not like calling code or rewriting the game in any way. It's functioning as intended, and that's the part that allows us to do something like that without breaking the category of glitchless. Because the item's just working how it's intended. We run away and it's marked as a victory. So that allows us to skip the part where we go underneath the Pokemon kind of casino and find like the rockets for the first time in their operations. So now we're gonna come here and we're gonna get the Poke Flute. Kind of for story, but actually becomes helpful later on in the run if we get put to sleep, because you can use it actually. So I'm going to fly back to Celadon City, and I'm going to take the center here. And I don't need to really take the center for HP, we're taking the center for two reasons. I want to set my warp point here. This is kind of a nice central part of the map. We can get to a lot of places we want to go if we were able to warp back here with Dig. So we're setting our warp point here, but we also need more uses of Horn Drill. So this gets all the PP back for our Horn Drill, and we're able to go on to the next part of the game. So we bought a fresh water when we were buying the soda pop, and this is part of the story. We have to come here and help this guard because he's thirsty, and so are three others, and one fresh water is enough for all of them. So now we're going to be going to a part of the game that might be kind of weird that I'm going here. A lot of you might have thought I was going to go fight Erica, which is typically the 4th gym leader if you're playing it casually. A lot of people fight her 4th. I don't know how to tell you guys this. The reason why she was so hard was because you guys were fighting her in the wrong order. She's clearly the 7th gym leader. So Erica's super scary. We're not going to fight her for quite a while. And we're actually going to a part of the game that is kind of not intended for us to be here yet. The initial idea is that you would come here a little bit later after you've beaten Erica and maybe trained up a little bit. So we're under leveled for this part of the game. But because of how powerful we're going in our X items, that's awesome. We didn't take a single point of damage in this fight. We're going to be able to just steamroll a lot of the Pokemon we're fighting here. So that is the last optional trainer we're going to fight in the entire run. And the reason why we fight him is he has a treasure trove of items behind him. He has TM26, that's Earthquake. He has a rare candy and a Carbos. So I'm going to be doing some swapping here. So give me one moment. Did I pass it? Yes, I did. Okay. So we're going to be teaching Earthquake to our Nidoking here. And remember how I said Rock Slide is only used 4 times in the run? So we don't need it anymore. We already used all 4 times of that. So, and I want to swap this part with rare candies. We'll be doing that in a moment. And I'm going to be using a Carbos. The Carbos allows us to increase our Nidoking's speed, which becomes important later on for us. But for right now, we're just using it basically to get it out of our inventory, because we're going to be getting another Carbos to replace in a little bit. And having that speed is going to be really important, not in this fight, but the following fight. So this fight is the reason why we opened that menu and taught Earthquake when we did. Earthquake is still used in Pokemon's competitive battling today. It's a very powerful move, and it's just a great move. 100% accurate, very powerful. So being able to learn Earthquake at this point in the game is a major boost to Nidoking. And that's one reason why we come here when we do. So we're going to pick up that item, we're going to use our rare candies, and we're going to get to level 36. 36 is a very important level. Not like we're going to learn another move, but this next fight is going to really make a difference that we're level 36 versus 34. This fight used to be done in an older route, at 34, and we would have to use 2 X items, and we would often take a lot of damage in this fight. Because we're fighting a Sand Slash now, and Sand Slash knows the move Slash. Slash is very annoying in Gen 1 Pokemon, because it has a 2/3 crit chance. So more often than not, you're going to get a critical hit against you. And having to go through 2 turns of damage is just a lot. So this game was rerouted in order for us to come in with a Carbos and level 36. And what that allows us to do is just use an X accuracy and watch what we're able to do to his team. Just like before, even though we're now lower level, we're in a part of the game that is normally more of an issue to deal with. We're going to be able to just steamroll his team. So, I didn't talk about too much, but we're kind of seeing what is called Vaporeon strats. So when I died in the first fight of the game, I said it would change some stuff. And the main thing it changed is our rival, because he won, his Eevee evolves into Vaporeon. Normally, if we would have won that fight, he would have turned into Flareon. And that has a major impact on this route. For 2 reasons. It's not really Vaporeon's the issue, it's that our rival changes the Pokemon that are in his party. If we have him have a Flareon, he has, for his water-type Pokemon, a Cloyster. And Cloyster is worth a lot of experience. That's why I said earlier on in the run I need to fight an extra trainer to get some extra experience. So we're going to nickname the Lapras as well. I am Zamber, because we missed the donation incentive before. So thank you so much for donating, I am Zamber. I hope you enjoy your Charmander and Laprases as a consolation for us missing your donation earlier. So, Cloyster gives more experience than Ninetales does. So because of that, it forces us to do more things in this route that makes us lose time. Along with that, if our rival has Vaporeon, it has Ninetales, and Ninetales knows a move called Quick Attack, and Quick Attack can in fact kill us later on in the run, because we're so likely to be at low HP. We're going to save before that fight. It's the final fight in the run. I'm not going to worry about it, but it's totally a thing that can happen. We'll play around it the best we can, though. So this is the final Team Rocket fight in the entire game, and one thing I kind of like to point out is the first time we fight them, the first Pokemon we see is the Ekans, and then the next time we fight them, the Pokemon they lead with is Meowth, and then the third time here it was the Weezing. So one kind of cool thing is we fight them 3 times, and they kind of try to change their strategy each time. They lead with a different Pokemon. They're very good at competitive Pokemon strats. Unfortunately, they can't beat a speedrunner, though. We just know this game too well. So we're going to be fighting Giovanni here, and Giovanni can be a kind of scary fight. I was considering saving before this, but we didn't take a single point of damage, so we don't have to heal. We don't have to save. Whoops. We don't have to save normally. We're going to be using our first X attack of this run. Okay, Guard Spec's perfect. So the way that AI works in this game, I'm just going to simplify it, is basically every AI is just a certain percentage to use a move. Some AI is better than others, but every move is kind of just as likely to occur in the most simplest way. So we got flinched there. That stinks, but the worst case scenario would have been Growl, and it didn't happen. So I'm pretty happy with this fight so far. But this Giovanni fight in general, he has a 25% chance each turn he can attack to also use an item called Guard Spec. And Guard Spec doesn't really do anything, it just prevents us from lowering his accuracy or other stats. And we don't really care about that, we just want to kill his Pokemon. So when he uses that item, it's very good. because then we're not taking damage and things like that. So, we're at like the top of like a very expensive building, right? Don't worry, guys. I Am Zamber is gonna help us dig out from the top floor all the way to the ground floor, and we're gonna walk away before the cops can ask us questions and kind of make us pay for the damages we've done. We're not gonna go back there. We don't want to pay for any of that damage. So we're gonna come up to another menu at this point in the game. So I'm gonna use a repel. I'm going to use, I think I already passed it, 1 second here. We're going to use an elixir to get our PP back. We're going to use one of our many super potions. And then we're going to come down and we are going to use a Poke Flute. And this is how we get past the Snorlax. And unfortunately, we're not going to catch the Snorlax. I know some people really love Snorlax. It's a great Pokemon. But it's just, it'd be too much. It's not very helpful. So we're going to run away from the Snorlax. It's like the last, hopefully the last random Pokemon we can run away from. There's some luck that's going to come in later. And we can get some extra encounters, but we'll talk about that later. So we're coming up to Psychopath. 1 second here. So there's a rare candy that's hidden here, and the reason why I need to focus just for a moment is if I happen to like not hold B, you notice the game like I'm not holding a button. The game auto forces you down, and if I mistakenly not press B, I'm gonna go straight down and fight an extra trainer. And if I remember right, he's kind of an annoying trainer to fight to begin with. So we're gonna just pick up that rare candy. Rare candies increase our level. They're just very nice to have at this point in the game.
We have a $2 donation from, says it's from Patch in the comment. I know it's not much, but it's all I had. Send Pseudo another Kirby and tell him it's from Patch.
Hey Patch, thanks for tuning in, man. I really appreciate it. So at this point in the game, we're gonna come in here and we're about to go and fight like a bunch of gym leaders all in a row. Whoops, I accidentally hit B. We're gonna be fighting a lot of gym leaders in the row, but at some point we're gonna come here, and we want our bag to be full before we go and fight those gym leaders, because our bag can only hold 20 items. And normally you would see that as a super annoying mechanic. As a speedrunner, I absolutely love that mechanic, because all the gym leaders try to spend us time giving us their TM saying why they're better than the rest of the gym leaders. We should feel so happy they give us a TM, but that's just a waste of time. If our bag is full, we get to kind of skip that part completely. So we're going to come here basically to fill up our bag with all these items we want eventually. Some are mandatory, some are just super nice to have. And when we leave here, we're going to have a full bag of 20 items. Everything we kind of need for the run, all the mandatory stuff, and we're just going to be set to start fighting a lot of gym leaders. So, the next gym leader we're going to fight is Sabrina. We're still afraid of Erica. She's just way too much for us to deal with. So we're going to pick up some golden teeth. Don't worry about it. They're probably sanitized. I'm not going to worry about getting any germs or anything. Alright. So we got our second to last HM we're going to get in this run. And I'm immediately going to... I'm immediately going to dig out of the Safari Zone here. I'm going to hop on my bike, and we're going to go back, and we're going to fight now our fourth gym leader in the entire run. And this is also a super scary fight, but you know what? I don't really care. It's a marathon. We're not going to save. If I die, I'm just going to run out of here and cry. Like, it's too scary of a fight anyways. I'm just, you know what? Run's going to die anyways. Why bother saving and playing it safe? So, we probably only have like a 0.1% chance to live here, but you know what? It's fine. Let's just hope we get lucky, okay? So, this is Sabrina. She is Psychic Pokemon. Psychic Pokemon are super effective against my Nidoking. I mean, there's like no chance I'm going to win here, so why even bother, right? Alright, so the strat is we're going to use an X accuracy and then an X speed, and let's just hope we don't die in the meantime, okay? Imawaka, please live, right? Oh, wow, cool. It used Flash. Alright. Wow, it used Flash again. That's amazing. Wow, we're going to be able to live. So I've been kind of trolling. For whatever reason, they thought it'd be a good idea to have her have an Abra, a Kadabra, and an Alakazam, because you're not going to really find these Pokemon anywhere else. But that first Pokemon can only use Flash, and Flash doesn't matter because we use an X accuracy. So this is the one fight in the entire game that you could be the worst Pokemon speedrunner in the game, as long as you don't accidentally click the wrong item, you're never going to die for. Because there's nothing that can go wrong. We use an X accuracy to hit, and we're faster than the rest of her Pokemon. So this is what I'm talking about. Wait, take this TM with you. Your pack is full. So normally we have to waste 8 seconds in order to get the TM and listen to the explanation, but we're able to just completely past that point, and let's go fight another gym. I've been loving the gym fighting. I mean, we've been spending way too long going through tunnels and whatnot. I want to play the game. Let's go beat up some Pokemon. So the next one we're gonna fight, because Erica's still too scary, is Koga here. So this, I'm not going to talk about routing too much. I talked about a little bit with Vaporeon strats, but this is my favorite, historical part of Pokemon Yellow. So there used to be a strat where we come into this lower level and we use all of our rare candies in here. What that strat, the, optimal strat at the time is we'd have to use, 4 Earthquakes in this fight, okay? And that really stunk, because we can only use, 10 Earthquakes. What the strat was, a guy named TI Kevin 83 rerouted this game where we use rare candies earlier. And what that means is, at this fight, we're at a higher level. What that allows us to do is we have literally just enough strength to kill all of these Pokemon with Thrash. So we kept Thrash just for this one fight. And yes, that's fast, because I've been talking about how fast Thrash is, but the cool part, the reason this is such a nice strat for Pokemon speedrunning is we're able to save those Earthquakes. And now we can go longer without having to use an item to get our PP back. Now the next time I have to worry about my PB is at the final gym. It's just an amazingly small detail that really impacts the speedrun. So shoutouts to TI Kevin. He's done a lot for this game in routing. He's the go-to guy for Pokemon Yellow routing. He's a really nice guy too. So this Hypno normally doesn't die unless we critical, and we crit. Wow, we've gotten all the fights. I'm gonna say oh, something really bad can happen. We wind up critting them all. So with all the bad luck that happened earlier on in the run, we've had really good mid to late game luck. So I'm gonna save here. This fight isn't normally that bad. It's just a time loss, but there's some weird things that can happen if I'm not super safe. So we're just gonna save because for some reason I'm really bad at fighting Koga. He's one of the gym leaders that for some reason I die to a lot more than I swear other people do. So we got Sleep Powder there, which is unfortunate. So now we're gonna have to use the Poke Flute. That's one of the cool things about Gen 1 Pokemon. They allow you to use this item in fights, actually. Whereas in other games, you have to just use an item called a full heal to wake up or an awaken. In this game, we just have to have this item anyways. So if we ever get put to sleep, it's not really that big of a deal, because we can just use the Poke Flute to wake up our Pokemon whenever it happens. So for being put to sleep, that was pretty good. We only got 1 Psychic, so I'm going to use a Super Potion in our next menu. But we're going to be able to just basically steamroll the rest of his Pokemon. And that's 5 gyms down. We're going to be going to 2 more gyms very quickly, but we're going to make a small detour. Our next gym we're going to go fight is Blaine, because as I said, Erica's way too scary. I like rarely live against her, so we're gonna put her off as long as possible. So in order to get into Blaine's gym, it's locked right now. He doesn't want us to come in. He's heard what we've done to the rest of the gym leaders in the matter of an hour and a half. So he took precautions. He locked up the entire gym, hired bodyguards, set up a security system where you have to answer questions even to get to him. But fortunately for Nuff, even that's not able to stop a speedrunner. So the teeth we got here are meant for this guy, and we get our final HM for the game, Strength. We're going to be teaching that here pretty soon, but we're going to go home to Pallet here. We're not going to talk to Mom. If you want to talk to Mom, go watch Pokemon's Gen 2 speedrunning. They actually call their mom, because otherwise she's going to waste time. But we don't have to do that in this run. I'm going to use a Super Repel. I said I was going to use a potion here. We're going to also come down here. We're going to teach Surf to I Am Zamber number 2. And I'm going to use that Carbos on Imawaka here. So when we've had a full bag, that's great when we're fighting gym leaders. But if we try to pick up another item, the same thing's going to happen. We're going to have a full bag. So I use that Carbos here because we're going to pick up another TM that's going to be very important for this speedrun called Blizzard. And we're going to need another story item here in order to get into the gym. So it's just nice that we can come in here and use our Carbos right before, and we're going to get another item to instantly fill up that slot. So one thing I haven't talked about too much is there's some RNG in Pokemon that you wouldn't really expect with speedrunning. I said we can use repels to avoid Pokemon fights, but the way that repels work is your Pokemon in slot 1 has to be higher level than the Pokemon that like you're like getting as your encounter. And generally that doesn't matter too much. Like we're using only one Pokemon, so we're higher level. But let's look at the levels of these Pokemon. 43 and 42. So there's a very small chance we can get level 43 or 46 Pokemon here. So that wastes quite a bit of time and can completely kill world record runs. So I'm going to come in here, I'm going to use another Super Repel. We're going to go all the way down, and now it's time to teach Strength. And we're going to teach it to I Am Zamber number 2. Whoops. And we're going to teach Blizzard. And this is the last move I have to teach over, so I made sure I took my time with it because, like I said, if some reason I would teach over the wrong move, it would really be kind of like the end of the run, and we'd have to think on the fly. And I've done that in a race before, and it's led to some kind of hilarious moments. But for now, everything's been going great, and we're gonna pick up 2 rare candies. Normally we only pick up 1. But I'm on Vaporeon strats, and with the route I'm doing, there's a small chance we might not be the right level at a certain point. I might have fixed everything, but at the same time, I would rather be... I'm fairly certain I'm going to need both these rare candies. So we're going to pick up both, even though it's super slow. So that's the first rare candy, and I need to think hard here because we normally don't get this one. But now we got both rare candies, we're pretty safe. We're going to pick up that final story item we need, and we're going to dig out with I Am Zamber number 1. And then immediately, you would think we could probably fight Erica now. Erica's still too scary. I don't want to fight her ever. So we're going to go fight Blaine. I mean, he went to such great lengths to keep us out of his gym. We should probably go teach him a lesson. So this gym, the gimmick is there's these quizzes that we have to answer before we can move on. And I'm going to make sure that I just take my time with this because one thing I haven't talked about too much, and I'll talk about it in a little bit here, is there's a thing called badge boosting. And the main thing that you need to know about badge boosting is it if I level up at the wrong time, my run could completely die. This game is optimized so much that even leveling up at the wrong time can end this run. So we are going to be very safe, not getting any extra encounters. Normally in RPG, if you get more experience, it's just a waste of time, right? Like, oh, I had to fight a fight I'm not normally used to. But in this game, it really matters. So I'm making sure I'm getting all these questions correct. And then we're going to go beat up Blaine. So Tombstoner is not a move, unfortunately. And we're coming up to actually one of the scariest fights in the entire run. And I'm not being sarcastic for the first time ever. This guy, we rerouted the late game to be a little bit more safe. But what that does is, because Pokemon is such like a give and take thing, is we had to put the risk that we would normally get in the Elite Four, the final fights, we have to put that risk in an earlier fight, basically. And it just so happens that this is the most optimal fight to kind of take that risk with experience and whatnot. So this fight can go really poorly. Let's hope we don't get burned here. Awesome. So taking that damage isn't the like annoying part. The final Pokemon he has is a Arcanine, and we're only 80% chance to kill the Arcanine. If we don't get that range, there's a very high chance we die, and we're gonna have to use that save I just made. So let's see if we're lucky enough. 80% chance to kill it here. Good, we killed it. That's great. So now, just like anything else, we're gonna dig out. So Blaine tried really hard to keep us away, but unfortunately it just couldn't work out for him. So now, I mean, we've beat like every other gym leader. I'm gonna go beat up Erica now. I've slowly dealt with my fears of her, and I think we're ready. I think we've played this game enough that we can finally beat Erica. So the main reason why we put off Erica is she's kind of, if you're playing the game casually and fight her as the 4th gym leader, she's kind of difficulty spike, primarily because it's like the 4th gym, like almost halfway through the run, but her Pokemon, we don't really have moves that are very effective against her. We could get Ice Beam, and there is a route which you use Ice Beam and you do fight her 4th, but this route uses Blizzard because it's more powerful. Blizzard's only 90% accurate in Gen 1, but it's reliable enough, and it's so much more powerful that it works out better. So that's why we put her off. We need Blizzard first, and you saw how long it took us to get Blizzard. So we kind of just push her off until we have Blizzard, so we can come in here and kill these Pokemon quickly. Because this first Pokemon, the Tangela, if we try to use Earthquake, it wouldn't kill it because it's not very effective. So having Blizzard here just to kill this Tangela is basically the whole reason why we put her off for so long. And then you'll see we just use Earthquake like we would anything else, and these Pokemon die to Earthquake. So we basically get Blizzard just for 2 Pokemon to go quickly. That's how tightly this whole game is routed. So we're 7 gym leaders down. We're coming to the end of the run, and this end of this game, Pokemon Yellow, if you ask any speedrunner that's sped around this and any other Pokemon game, this is like their major complaint. Pokemon Yellow is known for having a very trashy and unlucky endgame. There's a lot of chances to die, and there's not too many ways we can mitigate it. The fight we're coming into, I believe I'm correct on this percentage, there's basically just an 18% chance to die, and there's nothing I can do about it. Like, if I take damage and try to heal, I'm just as likely to get put back into the same HP range. We're gonna go fight Giovanni, that guy we fought before. He's much scarier this time, but first we have to kind of get to him. We're gonna be doing another short menu after this fight. And a quick story about this fight. One time I was fighting this fight, and I have 3 blizzards here, and it's only 10% chance to miss. Well, I wound up missing all 3 blizzards and died to this fight. I was coming into this being like, I'm gonna die to the 18% chance at Giovanni. No, my run died to the 1 in 1,000 chance on that Rhyhorn dude. So we're gonna use one of the elixirs. I'm gonna use a couple super potions. We're just gonna be completely safe. We have so many of them. I'm just gonna top off even. I might have to heal after this fight too if we take damage. And I'm gonna use one of the rare candies because we have to be level 45 at this point. So, you might remember a long time ago, I bought 4 X specials, and I haven't used a single one of them. Well, they're basically for the late game now that we have Blizzard. The X specials weren't really helpful before. We don't really need to use Thunderbolt. So all the X specials are kind of for this fight right here. So we're going to use the first one, and ooh, we got super lucky. Do you guys want to see a very rare but awesome strat? We get to Thunderbolt this guy. So now I get to talk about what's called badge boosting, that thing I alluded to before. So when you beat a gym leader, every other gym leader gives us what's called a badge boost. So when we beat Brock, we got the Boulder badge. And what that does is it increases our Pokemon's attack stat by 12.5%. And now that we've beaten so many gym leaders, we have all the stats in their badge boost. So our Pokemon are like 12.5 stronger in every single stat. Well, there's an oversight in this game. When your stats get recalculated, like Leer lowered my defense, for some reason they loop through all your other stats and recalculate it. Guess what that does? That badge boost is reapplied. So we get the 12.5% special increase when we get Leered there again. So that stacks. So whenever we've been using X items, not only does it increase that stat, like our attack, we're also getting 12.5% in everything else. So really quick here, so this fight, we're going to be using an X speed so we can be faster than this Doug Trio. Okay, so dug a hole. We're going to use an X accuracy to get ready for the next part. So now all of our stats have gotten that badge boost twice. So I got crit. Not to worry. We saved before the fight. But this is what I was talking about. There's 18% chances to die. So casually, not casually, but if I was normally doing a run, I'd probably be here at like an hour and 46 minutes. My run would just die here, and there's nothing I could do. We wouldn't have saved before. So I would have put an hour and 45 minutes into the game, and it's just dead. People kind of ask, like, how can you run a long game that, like, has such a high chance to die at the end? It's just one of those things you get over eventually. Like, we know the stats behind it. I know that it's only going to happen 18% of the time, right? So I tried to just not to let that get to me. And this is what we wanted. So we use the next... Oh, did I mess up? Oh, I messed up. Okay. Not a big deal, but... we kind of opened ourselves up to dying here. I used the wrong one by mistake. I was supposed to use an X speed there, so I have to use one now. So we get Screech, so everything's fine, but generally I was supposed to do that in a separate, different order. Not a big deal. Wound up not really mattering, but we did take some extra damage, so I'm going to have to heal after this fight. So now we're all set up to sweep the 8th gym leader, and all that's left is the E4. And just for a quick shout out, we're gonna get the best music in the entire game, in my opinion, coming up for here. The Victory Road music is amazing. So I love this part of the game too. Not very effective. We one-shot killed that Pokemon. But because it's technically a normal move, we still get the text that says it wasn't very effective. even though he just instantly died from full health. So from this point on in the game, we don't really care about our items. We're not going to be getting any more TMs from people, so we're going to be using up our X items. We're not going to care if our bag's not full anymore. It doesn't really matter anymore. So I'm going to come in here. I'm going to use a repel. We're going to go on the bike, but I also said I was going to do something. I need to use, since we have so many, nah, we're fine. I'm going to use just one super potion here, and then we're going to continue on in the game. So before we go to the E4, our self has to beat our self again. It's been the internal struggle this entire run. We can never truly beat ourself. So we have to kind of come against our internal ghosts and try to see which one of us is better. I'm a Wada or I'm a Wada. So in this fight, I'm going to use the next accuracy, and we got Slash. So Slash, 2/3 of the time will crit, so it didn't crit us actually. So that's a kind of a rare chance, and that's why I used a Super Potion. Otherwise, if it would have crit us, we would have lived, and if we wouldn't have an crit, we would be dead. So, I picked up an extra rare candy before, because this fight is the one that messes us up. Remember how I said Ninetales is worth less experience than, what did I say? Less experience than Cloyster? That really matters here, because this is the last time we have to fight the Ninetales before we go to the E4. And that lack of experience, even this lane in the game, matters. If we wouldn't have gotten the rare candy, we would be slightly low on experience right after Agatha. Oh, did I just do something wrong? Yes. But it's fine. I totally forgot we're on Vaporeon strats for a moment. Am I gonna die here? Yes, I am. Okay, so give me 1 second here, guys. So, I made a small mistake. I was trying to talk about the game, and I didn't realize we were on Vaporeon strats for a moment, even though I was just talking about how Vaporeon strats changed the game. So, one thing that's going to happen here is I'm going to try really hard not to win this fight. Because if we win this fight, it's going to be really bad later on. So, we might have to here. It looks like it doesn't want to kill us. Okay, so we need to die to Hydro Pump here. I made a small mistake. We don't have anything that can revive our Nidoking. So I'm going to have to do something quick before we continue on the run. Sorry about the small mistake, everyone. It's kind of weird, like, talking through this game so much. So all status changes were removed. Pidgey, come on, you can do it. Oh my... All you have to do is attack the Pidgey, man. Why are you hazing? There's nothing wrong. Why didn't you haze the... It could have just hazed when I was doing... Okay, so now it's shrouded in the mist. That's great. So let's see here. Eventually we would kill this if it decides for some reason not to kill my level 6 Pidgey. But, this is kind of a strange thing that... oh, good. It has a potion. So this is one thing that's kind of annoying about running these games is if you have Vaporeon strats, you're going to potentially make a lot of small mistakes because this small Pokemon I was supposed to use a separate move on because normally Flareon's here and then I could Earthquake it. But unfortunately, we were not prepared for this, and I didn't properly think. I should have healed up when I got hit by the Vaporeon. But this Vaporeon, for some reason, doesn't want to kill our Pidgey. And that's very unfortunate. it's just using haze, which is strange. Because Hydro Pump has more uses, I believe. I'm gonna try to do something a little bit different here. I don't have anything that can revive my Pokemon, unfortunately, so this is all we have. Can this Pidgey do it? I think it must be out of uses of Hydro Pump. Maybe we should try to deal more damage with the Lapras, unfortunately. I don't know if we'll have enough gusts. This might be a pretty strange moment for us. Hopefully he doesn't have another healing item. Looks like he doesn't because he hasn't used it yet. But we're kind of running low on PP for... it's fine, I can do something about that. We can use a PP item on this Pidgey if we need to. So that was really unfortunate that I made this mistake. We're getting a lot of criticals, amazingly. This Pidgey is gonna be the hero of this speedrun. Look at this, guys. Level 53 Vapor. I feel like this is Twitch Plays Pokemon, and this is ATV taking down a Dragonite. Do we have to? We have to use a PP item on our Pidgey here. Great. So now I can use my Gust more, so that's good. That's amazing that this has happened. So this is Gen 1 AI at its finest. So we did it! Look, the Pidgey did it. Level 15. 6 to 15 in one go. So that's really bad for us. But fortunately, I have an extra rare candy, which is actually going to matter quite a lot. But first, we have to revive everyone, but we also have to go buy an extra X accuracy. The accuracy here is very important for the E4. So I don't even want to know how long that took, but it's fine. Everything is gonna be A-okay. We just need to make sure we come and buy an extra X accuracy and just make sure that I remember in the final rival fight not to do the same thing. So we're gonna, where was it? X accuracy. We're gonna buy one X accuracy to make up for the one we already used, and we're gonna need every single one in this run. So minor mistakes, sorry everyone, I totally forgot while I was talking about it. Such a SudoTrainer thing to do. So we're gonna go to Viridian City here. We are going to revive our Pokemon now, even though I technically don't have to do this. But the reason I'm gonna do this is a couple reasons. If we come across an Onix, I'm gonna kill it to kind of just do everything I can to make up for the lack of experience. It won't matter in the end. We can complete this run no matter what, but there's a small chance I can run into an Onix, which is generally a bad thing, but since we need some experience here, it's not going to be the worst. So one thing that is going to happen here is we're going to be having to surf through some water without a rappel, so there's a small chance we can run into extra encounters. I'm basically just going to be killing anything I run across. But the extra rare candy here, which I kind of got just because I'm like, I don't know, anything could happen. I'm going to get this for safety. Is going to kind of save my run here. So, current SudoTrainer made a mistake, but past SudoTrainer, he's really great. And just so everyone knows, we have a glitch exhibition after this run. We're going to show off some of the cool glitches in Pokemon Yellow. So please, if you're interested in that, please stay tuned for that. And there is another run after this. We have a Spyro run. So please, if you're enjoying the run, consider donating to a good cause, by the way. And stick around for the final run of the marathon. It's going to be really cool. It's Spyro 100%. And I'm really excited to watch it. Alright, so this is the best theme in the game I was alluding to before. You know what kind of stinks? Pidgey is the only Pokemon in our entire team that wasn't nicknamed, and that's the hero of this whole run. I guess nicknaming your Pokemon is a bad idea. So, this is the one time we have to use Strength in the entire game. It's just a simple, like, kind of block puzzle in most games. We're just going to be pushing this boulder. I'm going to be doing a cool trick later, though. It's called Swag Boulder. And it's not a real run unless you do a Swag Boulder, so we're going to be doing that. We're going to make sure that I can submit this to the leaderboards for whatever reason. Whoops. Okay, I need to use Strength here, and I'm going to, in a moment, open up my menu again and use another Repel. The optimal place to use that Repel is there, but with everything that's happened, I'm fairly certain I'm going to make a movement mistake. So we're going to actually Repel right here, and that is going to be enough to bring us through the entire next room without running out of Repel. Oh, whoops. I am Zamber 2, really helping us out with those strengths. Whoops. And that's why I waited to Repel. For whatever reason, this is the hardest movement in the game for me. I don't know why. It's not hard. I've even practiced it, but I just often like make the mistakes in movement. There's a lot of lag in like these areas, so it's kind of understandable to some degree, but I'm like constantly like moving wrong, or you'll see here I can't do that all the time. I often like bonk against a wall. It's just a weird map for me in order to get all the movement. Whoops. At least I didn't hit that trainer. That's all that matters. So we didn't run into an Onyx. Oh, we did. Okay, so I'm going to kill this. So this is one of those random encounters that can happen because it's higher level than us. Since we died, I need some experience. I don't know if this is going to be nearly enough, but we're going to center before anyways. So actually I don't have to center again, which is nice. But I needed to make sure my Pokemon was there. Whoops. And then, where am I? Oh yeah, I ran into an encounter, which like resets my menu. So we're gonna use our final Repel, and here's that trick I'm talking about, okay? So I'm gonna wait to do it in a moment. So this is Swag Boulder. It's a minor glitch in the run, so don't tell anyone I did it. Swag Boulder. You can turn when you're like pushing the boulder and move like the particles at the same time. Let's see if I can do it again. It's kind of hard. There we go. So we got 2 Swag Boulders in the run. And like I said, it's not a real run unless you use a Swag Boulder. Am I still lower level? I've never gotten an Onyx here. I didn't even know this was possible. I must be lower level than normal. Let's hope everything's fine, or I just didn't know that there were Onyxes in that part of the map too. It's such a small part of the map, it makes sense.
Obligatory, that's never happened before?
Exactly, it's never happened before. I'm sure I've probably had that, but just don't remember. Alright, so at this point in the game, we're going to be depositing every Pokemon. So goodbye, Zamber. Goodbye again, Zamber. And we're just going to ride the game with Imawata. Whoops, I don't need to do this, actually.
Oh, and Wanli Way says, this happened to Kevin today.
Oh, did it? Cool, so it wasn't just me. Okay, so we're going to buy a bunch of full restores because I'm scared. Hey, thanks for checking out Wanli Ways. Wanli Ways is also a Pokemon Yellow runner and is basically kind of the whole reason why I kept like motivated. Wanli Ways was brand new at this game when I was learning it, so we kind of like became rivals. It's really great. So go check him out if you enjoy Pokemon Yellow runs. He also runs Crystal. And there's an entire community. I'll have some thank yous at the end. We have to watch the cutscenes because we're doing the glitch exhibition. So This is the part I'm scared about. I think leveling in any of these fights doesn't matter, but there might be a small chance that me being lower level here is bad. So we'll have to see here. I think I'm faster than everything still. And then the fact that I got the extra rare candy is going to be the one that really matters. Good. That's good. As long as we don't die here, because that level up kind of could slow us down in some ways, because we don't have that badge boost. I don't think it matters. The remaining Pokemon is a Jinx. Okay, so Jinx is the longest cry in the whole game. And now we can move. It's just such a long cry. So the E4 here is the part that, like, Pokemon Yellow runs come to die. There's so much that can go wrong, honestly. And just because with everything, how everything is gone and I made a small mistake, I'm going to save before every single E4 fight, just in case I would make a mistake. So I'm going to use my elixir here. I'm going to even heal because we have so many super potions. I should full restore here, actually, but it winds up not mattering. I'm just going to full restore anyways to be a cool kid. And we're going to save. So that elixir refills all of our PP, and that's all the PP we need for the rest of the run. That's why I didn't need a center again, because we weren't going to blizzard on the first fight anyways. So minor knowledge of the game coming into play here. Like, I realized I didn't need to recenter, even though I tried to because of muscle memory. So this Bruno, we're going to use an X accuracy in order to make sure that this blizzard doesn't miss. And Rock Slide is the best thing that can happen here. So all these E4 fights are generally not scary, besides the last one in our final rival fight. We're basically just pretty powerful at this point in the game, and with our X items, badge boosting, and all the techs we've been using up till this point in the run, a lot of these fights are just kind of make sure you don't use the wrong move and you'll be fine. But the last two, Lance and Rival, we have just a certain percentage to die, and they're going to be a little rough. So this is why I got the extra rare candy. So we're going to come in here, and we are going to double rare candy in this fight here. So I believe I still have to double rare candy. So we want to be 52 for this fight, I'm fairly certain. And now our experience for this run is completely corrected. Normally, if we were on Flareon strats, didn't die and all that, we would be level 51 after Bruno, and then we only had to use the one rare candy, and we would be level 52. But we're all safe here. All I have to do is remember to do the final rival fight correctly. So this is a major route change for us. Before this Gengar, we would be slower. Before the whole experience change stuff, which would kind of be a major issue because it has a lot of moves that kind of just waste time. So this makes this fight much more safe. And this is the only blizzard we could have missed in the entire rest of the run. If we miss another blizzard, we're gonna have to reset from one of our saves. I went the long way there for some reason. So there's only 2 more fights in this run, and they're both terrible. The next fight is Lance, and he has Dragon Pokemon. And the whole reason why Blizzard is such a good move for speedrunning is because Lance's Pokemon are just very powerful, and they're weak against ice. and the Dragonite is doubly weak to ice. So Blizzard just completely wrecks his strongest Pokemon. So we're kind of mowing through the E4 here. We just have one more fight, and then we have to fight ourselves again. Because we've gone through all these troubles, but we still have to look at ourselves to find improvement. This is Celeste before Celeste came out, everyone. Imawaka's gonna save, Imawaka's gonna fight, and we're gonna do this. Okay, so we saved before this very scary fight. So, the first Pokemon here is Gyarados. And we have to use a next special in order to live his attack. It's Hydro Pump. Hydro Pump has a 30% chance to miss, but then this Gyarados has a 16% chance roughly to crit us. So we have a 16% chance to just die right here. If it doesn't crit us, we'll be okay. Let's see. Yes! We got the miss, which is absolutely perfect. That's like the best this fight can go. Any runner, when that miss happens, just gets so excited. So we're going to use our less X attack of the run. And then wow, we had both. That's really rare, actually. So we're completely full health for the final rival. So we're not even going to have to heal again. We can just save and go into the next fight. So, this is one of the blizzards we can't miss. There's two blizzards literally back to back. If we miss, I have to reset. Because it's not the fact that we miss. These moves are the only moves that are powerful enough to kill the Pokemon. And it's not that I'm going to die if we miss. It's that I literally would have nothing to kill the Sandshrew. Because there's just so many moves we have at our disposal. So we only have the final fight against Imawata. Imawata. He's the real Pokemon League champion. Well, Imawata has to say differently. Alright, let's go. So there's a funny kind of thing that happens with this fight here. We've turned off animations till this point, but they automatically turn in for the final rival fight for whatever reason, whether it's for cinematics or like whatever, they just turn on for this fight. So if you love the sprites and the animations for this game, congrats. We get to see them for this one fight. So I'm going to use an X special here. And this is the crit that could absolutely kill us. Sandslash has a high crit rate, also I believe about 16% chance. And this blizzard we have to hit. So we did it, and as long as I don't make a mistake, and I'm remembering that we're on Vaporeon strats, we should live. Awesome. So this next Pokemon, I'm going to use an X accuracy, and what that's really going to do is just make it so we can kill the rest of these Pokemon. But I just have to remember something. Horndrill, Earthquake, Horndrill. Okay. So we could have been put to sleep there, which kind of becomes very annoying. So I have to use Horndrill, Earthquake, Horndrill. Normally I would do a Horndrill, Horndrill, Earthquake, but I just can't forget here. So muscle memory, don't fail me. Let's just make sure that we use the correct move here. Yes, I didn't mess up the run at the very end. Well, there's still one more chance. I can misclick on the final move. But this is Pokemon Yellow NE% Glitchless. A lot of things happened in this run. But overall, I'm pretty happy with how the run went. New TV, first like marathon being here, it's been great. So Really quick shout outs to the Pokemon speedrunning community. I'm like brand new to speedrunning. I've only been doing this for 3 months, and I absolutely love all the relationships I made with people in the Pokemon speedrunning community and speedrunning community in general. They've been very welcoming, very helpful. So shout outs to Ti Kevin 83, Juanli Ways, Chisari 1515, Gunner Maniac, Poke Guy, Exarion. There's just a great group of people in the Pokemon speedrunning community, and I highly recommend if you liked what you saw here. A lot of you could do this run better than I did here. It's a really fun run to get into. Please feel free to check it out. And we're going to be doing a Glitz exhibition literally as soon as we get through the credits here. Thank you to everyone who's donated for some incentives for Pokemon Yellow and in the marathon in general. So time's going to be coming up here. So I'll say time, but it's basically we have a little bit of text to mash through here. And the moment the screen goes white, we can call time, so it's coming up. And time. What was the final time? 2:20.24. Ooh, quite a bit over estimate. There was a lot that went wrong, though. Nice thing is, I have the Glitch exhibition directly following it, and we were ahead of schedule. So, we can, not really, we don't have to, hop off right away, which is good. Yeah, there was a lot that went wrong with that run. It was hopefully entertaining. Overall, throughout most of the run, it was executed decently well. I didn't make any major mistakes other than when Pidgey had to save our lives. I think we watched Pidgey probably for 6 minutes, just gusting this Vaporeon who couldn't do anything. It was really interesting. I've definitely never had that happen. So, yeah, I have to kind of wait until the very end here. Otherwise, the game won't save. And then we're going to hop right into the Glitch exhibition. So feel free if you want to change the title, get that all set up. And shoutouts to the Pokemon Company for making a game that highly stresses me out, but it's a really fun game to play. One of the benefits of Pokemon speedrunning versus other speedrunning is there's nothing highly technical or glitches you have to learn. Manips are kind of hard to learn, but for the most part, you can pick up a route and play it as you go. Awesome. Hey, thank you to everyone who's been here, guys. I really appreciate it. All right, so we're gonna hop right back into the Glitch exhibition. So, Pokemon is kind of known for for not exactly being the most well-built games. So first thing I'm going to do is do absolutely nothing like a glitch. I have to go and I have to pick up all the Pokemon I deposited because I kind of regret getting rid of them. I really need them now because otherwise I can't do cool glitches. So let's just do basically Route 1 like the beginning of the game. Let's just do another one while we're at it, right? That was a bad run. Let's redo the whole thing. Hey, thanks for being here. Hot Coffee, Prolex, Patch, Juanli Ways, Pathy the Clown, the Oblivinator, and Unique Senpai. You guys are great. Well, I went in the mart because of muscle memory. So I have to pick up all the Pokemon I need, but basically I just need a Flyer, a Surfer, and we might as well pick up Pikachu while we're at it, right? Yeah, we'll save Pikachu. No one likes him anyways. Alright, so I'm going to pick up every Pokemon that's not Pikachu. We might see Pikachu a little bit later as a hint.
Then I was away for a little bit. Did the Kirby throw count ever actually hit 20?
I don't believe so. I feel like I haven't been hit enough. So we're going to be doing probably one of the coolest glitch that a lot of you guys have seen probably. If you were on if you were on the internet at all in 1995, you probably did this very glitch too. So one of the cool things is we're gonna be doing Mew glitch, and Mew glitch is great. But the really cool thing about it is I know how it works. So even if you've seen this glitch before, I can kind of walk you through it. So I'm gonna be saving here just in case. But so right now I'm gonna walk outside here, and this route's gonna become important in later. Just remember that where we are in the map. So and right now, there's not a trainer on the screen, right? But if I walk down, there's a trainer who would get in a fight with me, okay? So, but he's not fully loaded yet. So I'm going to be buffering the menu open like I've been doing in the whole run, okay? So I'm going to buffer, and now we opened up this menu, alright? You can kind of see that guy, he's loaded here now, and we're in his range of sight to get in a fight. So if I open up this menu, I can do everything normally. So let's just go see Misty again. Notice how the game had the exclamation point. It now thinks we're in a fight. So a couple of weird things happen. Like, I'm spamming my menu button. The game is in the state that we're in a fight right now. So I can't do anything with my menu. You can only do things that you normally could in the menu. Which is why I can still move around. Up, down, left, right are still active because you can use them. And I can use B and A. So I'm going to just come over to this spot, and just, there's nothing too special about this guy I'm fighting, but the fact that we're fighting this guy does matter. So the one weird thing about this game right now is it's very unstable. If I walked right now and ran right into that guy, the game would crash. It would soft lock. For whatever reason, it's not going to crash here, because of that exclamation point and the fact that the guy has to walk. So now the game thinks we're in a fight within a fight. It's just in a crazy state right now, but this fight's gonna be completely normal, okay? So, Imawaka is oh, and I didn't shout Imawaka. Imawaka, thank you for all the donations you did before, man. This has been great. I feel like I know you so much now that I've had a Pokemon named after you, my character and my rival is named after you. So now the game's back to normal for the most part. So our menu's reactivated. It counted that we don't have, we're out of the fight now. So I'm going to fly back to kind of where it all started, right? So we're going to kind of start walking, and let's enter this area. Now, this is the game trying to catch up with us. It remembered that we got in a fight in this route, and we just walked into that route. And what happened last time we were at that route? Well, we had our menu open, and the game remembered all this. So now our menu is open, and we're in that same route. And what I'm about to do is, like, really technical why this works, but just enjoy it. I'm just going to hit B and let it speak for itself. Okay, so chat, you guys have 30 seconds, alright? Whatever I see the most is what I'm going to do. We don't have a Pokeball. Are we going to kill or let this Mew live? So either type run away or kill. You guys have 30 seconds to decide this beloved Mew's fate. Kill it. Anyone else? I mean, it's a pretty nice Mew right now. I don't know, we could heal in the meantime. Save the animals? I don't know, man. Oh, it knows pound. Huh. Hug it. I don't know. So far, we're gonna save it. What do you guys think? Turn the game off? Wow, someone's not enjoying the run at all. Alright. Last chance. We're gonna save. Oh. Sorry, Mew. I guess you live today. Master Ball. We don't have the Master Ball. Bye, Mew. It was great while it lasted. So that's Mew glitch. So the trainer I fought had the Pokemon that I fought. I believe it was Slowpoke, and that Slowpoke had a certain DV. And that DV had some effect on this glitch. If we would have fought a different Pokemon, a different Pokemon would appear here. So the reason why that trainer was specific is because it was a Slowpoke. So we were able to get a Mew. So on to the next glitch. So this one, a lot of people kind of wonder like how glitches are found, right? Like sometimes they're found just like someone going into the code finding the error, but some of them are just found naturally. And this is just kind of a really funny glitch with its story. So we can hop on Zammer here and we can surf away, right? It's just completely normal. Like you saw me do this in the run. But watch what happens when I use a move. Use an item that many of you probably would guess wouldn't have affected anything. Oh, I accidentally used key card. Well, okay, let's try to surf. What? We're right by the water and we can't surf. So the way that this glitch works is, if we play other items, the surf still goes through. It's not using any item. Like I could use, let's consult the Helix Fossil. You know, we're Twitch-based Pokemon now, but we can still surf. There's just some unique properties with the card key that prevent us from surfing right away. So this was found naturally in a speedrun by Gunner Maniac. He was doing a world record attempt and accidentally hit the wrong item and found out he couldn't surf. So it's just a weird kind of random glitch that happens with the card key. And if we had more time, we could set up